Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Virtus Pro versus Alliance in the Epic League. We saw VP take that first game very convincingly. End scores like 26-6, something like that. VP just really crushing Alliance. Even though Alliance, they had the potential to get a few nice pickoffs, it just never really worked out that way. And it was just a downward spiral from after the laning phase. So we'll see if they've had a nice little rethink, just chilled out a bit. I'm going to come back into this game with a little bit of a clearer head, or if it's really got to them and it could be over before it's even begun. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, as I was saying in the previous game, Alliance really needs to take this series against VP. Otherwise, they will get relegated to Division 2 of the Epic League. So, we'll see if maybe that little bit of pressure's gonna, make them perform just that little bit better and try and keep themselves in the Division 1, or if they're just gonna fold here and now and just get 2-0'd by VP. But we'll have to wait and see. So far, exactly the same bans coming out from both sides. Alliance taking away the Lina, VP taking away the Viper and the Enchantress, as well as the Magnus gone. So we'll see if VP's going to go for exactly the same opener as the previous game of that Faceless Void. Obviously, it worked out pretty well in the previous one. But we may see Alliance potentially snatch up the Slardar themselves as their first pick if VP do go for the Void instead. So they go for the Void again. Alliance going to pick the Iron, or are they going to go for something else? So they will take the Slardar themselves this time, making sure that VP don't get that easy, those first two pickups. I mean, we saw in the previous game that they both worked so damn well. DM himself was able to solo so many heroes. So maybe VP gonna have to try and rethink what they want to go for with their sort of position 3 role. So they're actually gonna take the IO themselves now. Just like, okay, you steal our hero, we'll steal one of yours. That's how this works, right? So is this gonna be a position 5 IO paired up with Epileptic Kid? Just gonna try to set up some global Chronospheres, perhaps? Or if they're gonna put this into the hands of Save and try and pair up with DM for the offlane and try to go for a more of an aggressive offlane style. We'll have to see which route they end up taking. We'll see what game plan Alliance has in mind for this second pickup. Maybe they might just try and net a hero that combos quite nicely with the Slardar in the position 4 role. And what would Hanskid like to play paired up with the Slardar? It's not a huge amount of heroes that they would like to grab. They're actually just going to grab the PA right now. Okay, so it's a hero which really benefits from the minus armor that comes out from the Slardar. Just those crits from the PA are going to hurt so damn hard. And also, with the natural blur evasion, it makes it quite annoying for the Faceless Void. It's going to force him to build a MKB. A Void is one of those heroes which doesn't mind building an MKB. He's perfectly happy doing that. So it's not really going to affect his game too much. We'll probably still see him pick up the Mask of Madness. Probably going to go for a Battle Fury this game, as a Battle Fury is an item that that the PA tends to buy. So yeah, we'll probably see Epileptic Kid grab that just to try and match the pace that's going to be coming out from Nico Baby this game. Or maybe Nico Baby might go for a pure fighting build. Going to try and pair up with this Slardar really early, get a nice Desolator time in, and try and just go for some big minus armor strat and blow people up as soon as they possibly can. It could potentially work out, but they'll probably have to wait and see what the rest of VP's lineup is actually going to look like. See if that is actually going to be a viable strategy or not. VP take away the Undyings again. Well, this time. Just wants to make sure that FNG doesn't get that hero. I mean, FNG didn't have the hugest amount of impact in that previous game, but I don't really think it was his fault as the Undying itself. It just sort of like the whole lineup sort of I don't know, it's not really like the lineup lacked something. It had a nice amount of lockdown, had a good amount of pick off as well. I don't know, it just seemed like Alliance didn't really execute their draft that amazingly in that previous game. But even so, they take away the Undying nonetheless. Also the Oracle and the Shem. So just heavily focusing all of their second phase bans onto FNG. Really trying to limit the position 5's hero pool. Meanwhile, Alliance are just focusing all their bans towards DM for the offlane right now. See what they take away is the final ban. Pretty much all of DM's favourite heroes have already been either picked or taken away from the banning phase. So we'll see what they do end up grabbing for him. Maybe someone who could benefit from the IO if they are going to run this as an aggressive IO instead of a defensive one. We'll have to wait and see. So a Lion pickup from Alliance right now. This is a hero you do not see very often in the pro scene. It's a hero you always see in your pubs. It's a hero I love playing in my pubs as well. But yeah, when it comes to actual professional games, you don't see him too often. So we'll see how this pick ends up rolling out for the side of Alliance. Most likely going to be that position 5 role for FNG. You can sometimes see it as the 4 role, but I don't think it will be. Maybe they could potentially still move it around, but I don't think it's a hero that Hanskin really rolls. Let's see what they do go with. But VP had to take up the Disruptor now as their 3rd pickup. So that'll be for Ilias in the 5 role. So this is going to be a save IO. So what hero is VP going to pick up to try and benefit from the IO tether? I think of what in DM's hero pool that he would want to play in this scenario, going up against a PA and a Lion. I mean, if you're going up against a Lion, you can't play something like a Bristleback really. I mean, you can, but the mana drain is really annoying to deal with later on in the game. You should never have mana to use your Bristle spam really efficiently. So, going to go for the Omni pickup. So, I mean, you tend to see the Omni as the position 5. So, is this actually going to be a Hanskin Lion then for the 4 role? You see a slightly greedier Lion coming out. Maybe going to go for that big Axe Rush. New meta. Or we could possibly see this. I was going to say, you could see it as a core Omni in the offlane, but you've already got the Slardar. So, it's pretty much guaranteed to be FNG in that 5 role. The 4 on the Lion, unless this is going to be a Limp Lion. Nah, it's not really. It's not Limp sort of playstyle, really, is it? So still just their mid lane left to pick up, and VP have gone with the Axe. So it's a hero which doesn't really care about the missed chance coming out from the PA, because you just want the PA to end up doing the damage to herself in the end. Especially if you get lucky with some of those Blade Mail coup de grace crits, just delete the PA by herself. But there is also going to be the help coming out from the Omni Knight, so if there is that sort of big axe rate cool engagement, the Omni is always going to be able to pop out the GA to avoid all the physical damage coming out from the blade mail, as well as being able to chuck out the what's the second ability called? Heavenly Grace. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, being able to chuck out the Heavenly Grace onto whoever does get caught out by that call as well, and just immediately purge off the effects. So I don't think this is going to be the easiest axe game in the world, but I mean, it's going to be nice if you get a few of those quick initiations. If you ever get the grab onto the lion, pretty much guaranteed to die. But I'm not sure how the Eye is going to be able to sustain the axe quite nicely, but it's not like there's going to be some sort of big combo coming out with the overcharge. But still, both mid laners to pick up for Alliance and VP right now, and very little reserve time for both of these teams to work with. So see what they're going to go with. It seems like VP is still lacking damage to try and pump into this Chronosphere, so they need someone who could be a little bit of a long ranger engage whilst being able to assist Epileptic Kid. And they're going to go for the Leshrac. Definitely Hero can do that. Doesn't even care if he really ends up getting caught in the Chronosphere either, as all of his abilities are just AoE ones. So, I mean, obviously you don't want to get caught in the Chrono, but it's not going to be the end of the world if you do happen to get caught out by accident. Also a very nice snowbally hero, able to take away a few early towers as well. Try and limit the space that the PA is going to be able to farm with effectively. Lion's going to go for the Zeus. Okay, so the Zeus is always a nice way to try and abuse the low HP pool of a Leshrac, as a Leshrac is generally just like a glass cannon. Plus, you're able to keep your distance in the laning phase to try and farm up effectively. I really hate this lion skin. Why is it so... It looks so bulky and blocky. I don't know, it doesn't look good to me. It's also like my bigger skin critiques that I do. But looking at these lineups, I think it's a bit safer now for the side of Alliance. I mean, but there is still a decent amount of catch coming out from VP and their team fight. Ooh, it's quite tricky actually. Obviously the GA coming out from FNG is going to really mitigate a lot of the damage coming out from the Faceless Void, but it's going to do absolutely nothing when it comes up against the Leshrac. So I'm not sure really who I favour between these two matchups. I think it's all going to come down to how the laning phase ends up going. Well, not that the laning phase really, tells you who's going to win the game in the end, but it definitely helps. You know, I think the percentage is like if you win the laning phase, you're like 70% chance to win or something like that. I don't know. I could just be making numbers up. But it seems feasible, right? Just the snowball effect is definitely a powerful a tool in every Dota player's arsenal. If you can snowball, you can generally win. Unless you end up rolling into a rock and then your snowball shatters into a million pieces and then you're like, ah crap, now I'm going to have to become a snowman. And no one wants to be a snowman.
I can't bear to look.
So I think this is the first game in a long time that I've not seen VP just sit on this high ground. Epileptic Kid even just goes ballsy and just walks up high ground himself onto the Radiant side. S4 wasn't have any of that. Epileptic Kid was holding out for the high five, but S4 is salty. After that loss, he isn't given any sort of happy shenanigans there. He's going to be able to get the bottom room. It's going to be DM, or it's going to be FNG. DM actually ends up snagging it, but they're doing quite a lot of damage to save in the process. Not going to be enough to really... Niku Baby's getting super aggressive though, really pressured on to save right now. That's quite a nice amount of right clicks. Especially with the purification from FNG, you can easily be able to heal him back up. So he's not going to be forced to like use any of those early salves. Just a few tangos. So I think for the early levels, both cores probably not going to be pressured a huge amount. It's just going to be Epileptic Kid and S4 basically just soloing against each other for quite a while. And then with Niku Baby down bottom, it's relatively easy to purge off the battle hunger that comes out from the axe, as you just got the Stifle and Daggers to help increase your last hitting efficiency. And even FNG, if he gets really annoyed by it, he could just level up the Heavenly Grace as well and purge off the battle hunger, but it's probably a little bit of a waste of mana to be forced to use your ability for that reason. How's the mid lane going? Very even so far. 8-0 to GPK and 7-2 to Limp right now. So this is a slight advantage for Limp. Not a huge difference, but you know, every little creep helps. Just both of these two just chucking out their spells to guarantee last hits. I think a little bit of miscommunication there by Hanskid and S4 stacking their stuns at the same time onto Epileptic Kid. But even still, the stun spams that come out from Hanskid is going to be very spammable as he's come from an early point into the mana drain. Pretty much going to be able to sustain himself every single time he wants to go for one of those stuns. Still, the farm between the two carries, there is a little bit of disparity. 6 lost it so far. Not a huge amount, but even still, you know, it is just a slight advantage so far for Niku Baby. Maybe just the pressure that's coming out from the DM and save isn't quite as potent. Seems as though obviously the IO is a very defensive sort of support. I mean, sometimes if you're paired up with a hero which can really benefit from the attack speed bonus coming out from the overcharge, then you can apply quite a lot of pressure, but I mean, you just paired up with an axe. An axe isn't really known for his right-clicking potentials. Just wants people to right-click him instead. But, I mean, I suppose it does mean that DM's going to be able to play a little bit more aggressively in the lane, as he is going to have that massive sustain coming out from the IO. So he might be able to go for some cheeky little tier 1 dives eventually and try and net a few kills that way, perhaps. It's a very chill game, this one. Not quite as action-packed as the previous. I think we already saw the first blood by about like minute 2 in the other game. But this one, everyone's just chilling. There's quite a lot of defensive lanes, really. Especially, I mean, there is a bit of the kill threat that comes out from Hanskid and S4. if they do manage to get an easy grab and say, listen, looks like they go for that now. Out comes the Stagfield though. Ooh, and even the Earth Spikes us a little bit off target. So Willius with -5. And Limp, though, he actually ends up getting the first blood onto save with the Thunder God's Wrath. Cleans up an easy kill there onto the IO. Elias was even getting pretty low. S4 diving a tier 2 tower, taking quite a lot of damage for it. Unfortunately, Elias didn't have a glimpse available. He could just glimpsed him back into the tier 2 if he did have that point. Now would have been a free kill onto the Slardar. But even still, a lot of pressure applied, going to force him back. Even though S4 did have to go back as well. But that's the space for Epileptic Kid. So he's perfectly happy with that trade. Still very even on the CS between these two mid laners though. Both of them just working into the side camps whilst also farming up the lane. Really trying to maximise all of their efficiency that they possibly can. It looks like GPK is going to start trying to roll a little bit of pressure onto the tier 1 perhaps. Anskin tries to cut off with the rune, actually ends up spawning bottom. And Limp's able to follow up. But GPK is going to keep this pressure going. He wants to get a free kill now onto the Lion. But the old Hex, this is too strong. Especially level 1, managing to last 2.5 seconds. It's pretty damn long for a level 1 disable. FNG though, he's just going to get dived onto this tier 1 tower. But Nikki maybe trying to make a little bit of space for FNG, jumps onto save instead. Which does force DM to go back, the call comes out. Only 1 spin, 2 spins. Despite the fact that he's a level 3 Helix, it just seemed like that damage was pretty negligible. Especially with the purification that comes out from FNG. Definitely make sure that Nika Baby's not going to fall to any sort of dire RNG. Couple of rotations coming out from VP. Epileptic Kid actually rotate around here himself. Just going to try and farm from the creep camps. Maybe wants to try and use this this Chronosphere to good use. Even S4's now rotated by this tier 1 tower. Epileptic Kid needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out. He does actually get hit by the Hex. Going to get hit by the follow-up some of the Spike. S4 coming in with the Crush, trying to hold him back into place, but it's not going to be enough. Epileptic could easily manage to time walk off a large portion of that damage. Save does end up going down though. The Chronosphere comes out, connects onto 2, trying to hold him back. There's no sort of damage to follow up from the side of VP. They have to fully retreat. Even get Golden Epileptic just barely able to survive the time walk. And Ilias making a bit of space for him to try and retreat as well with that glimpse, forcing Nika Baby back. So they get to the tier 1 tower, but they lose the IO and the first Chronosphere usage, and they don't get anything else out of it. So nice little hold there from Alliance. Sure, that does cost the rotation of Nico Baby, so losing a little bit of efficiency there himself. But I suppose it's all for the greater good. Is it really the greater good? You still lost your tier 1 tower, and you only got a kill onto the IO. I don't think you really care too much about the first Chronosphere usage, only level 6. Because obviously there is very little damage that actually comes out from the side of VP at these early levels. It's just heavily relying on GPK to actually pump out a lot of it. It looks like maybe VP will want to try and make a move straight now onto the PA at the bot lane. DM trying to lead up with the Battle Hunger. Gonna get the grab onto him. Nice cool connection onto FNG as well. Can try and hold back in place. FNG's actually getting pretty low, and there comes out the dunk. DM finishes him off. The Nika Baby getting re-engaged. Gets 1 crit, but not gonna be enough. The second dunk comes out, but it's still not gonna be enough to save GPK's life. And he ends up falling to the dagger. Comes out from Nika Baby. Will glimpse him back away. Try and make a bit of space for the rest of VP to try and escape. And even with DM with the nice little TP out there, keeps himself alive after getting the double dunk. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. You get the 2 supports, but you do lose your mid lane for that. I mean, as a result, it is a very barely minimal golden XP exchange, favouring VP. But even still, I don't think Alliance mind too much. It's time off the map for GPK. A little bit of space for the rest of Alliance. I mean, it definitely could have gone worse for him. All the bounty spawn. Just ends up being a 2 for 2 across the map. Well, it's inevitably going to be a 2 for 2 once VP pick up that little bounty that hiding down there. GPK is actually making another rotation down towards the bot. Maybe they just want to try and force away this tier 1 tower. Limit the farm and space available for Nika Baby, perhaps. Oh. The catapult just gave away the fact that there is a ward there. So that will be an easy deny for the side of VP if they actually have any sentry wards. I don't think they actually do right now. But, I mean, there is information for when they go for their next little play down here. Which is inevitably going to happen. GPK tries to go for a stack. Ooh. Oh, it doesn't actually end up getting it. Looks close. But not close enough. Actually going for a relocate up top. They're going to get the grab onto S4 with the Chronosphere also coming in from Epileptic, trying to bring him down. He just managed to get the cross off, but it's not going to be enough to save his life. Massive rotations coming out from the rest of the lines. They try to bring him down GPK, and he does finally fall. The dagger coming out from Nika Baby. Doesn't find the crit though. So the relocate will bring them both out of there. So it does end up being a one for one trade. Once again, it's GPK falling. S4 falls as well, but at least with the side of VP, that is once again massive rotations coming out. I think all 4 members of the side of Alliance coming up here to get involved and trying to keep S4 alive. But I mean, it's not like it's like massive space though for the side of VP, seeing as how it was actually Epileptic Kid who got involved in that fight himself. So waiting on those brown boots as well. I think he has now bought them. That's going to come out. He's actually got the Hand of Midas queued up now as his next item. So choosing to go for that as his farming tool rather than the Battle Fury. Meanwhile, Nika Baby's not even bothering the Battle Fury himself. He's just going to go for a pure fighting build. Trying to get that first key item of the Desolator. Definitely going to be able to go for some nice coup de grace crits alongside with the Corrosive Haze. Looks like it is going to be able to get an easy glimpse onto Hanskin, force it back into the rest of the team, but S4 jumps forward, gets the crush connection onto Ilias. They don't even find the kill onto Hanskin, and now big rotations come out from the rest of the lines. They're going to try and get the grab now onto GPK, but nice relocate there from Hanskin. Is going to be able to keep him alive. Hanskin's going to inevitably die for this, but it's definitely a sacrifice worth taking, just to make sure you keep your mid laner alive. Oh, not Hanskin, sorry, save. My bad. It's the fact Hanskin was playing it in the previous game. Threw me off. So this game's definitely more even. I mean, despite the fact that it feels like Alliance is always getting the upper hand in these engagements, it's still only just a 1k gold lead, but I think this is basically just due to the fact that it's always big rotations, because once again, Nika Baby came down here to get involved. Obviously, where he's going for this fighting build, he wants to try and get involved as much as possible. But I think it might just be worth waiting until he actually gets his Desolator finished and then start coming to try and really help out the rest of his team. But so far, it just feels like Alliance is just heavily focused on the fights right now. 4 members all smoked up. Maybe they just want to try and bait out Nika Baby. There is a few members from VP waiting on the sidelines themselves. DM, he's got his Blink Dagger available as well. The jump forward from S4, gets the stun connects on GPK with the finger as well. He gets blown up. DM goes into the backlines, gets a call into 2, but it's not going to be enough to control him out. Even Ilias ends up falling him. DM at least managed to get the dunk onto Hanskin. There's no way going to be enough to keep him alive though. And he will eventually fall. So again, a 3-for-1 trade favouring Alliance. They just keep finding these key pickoffs. It was a good jump forward from S4, getting the stun connection there onto GPK with a quick finger and Thunder God's Wrath follow-up. Melts him in a second. Even Nika Baby finding the mid-tier 1 tower as well. Oh, save. That was an interesting tether to the creep wave. Not sure what that was about. So this Desolator is actually now ready and available for Nika Baby. And seems how Alliance aren't really relying on any sort of big cooldowns, mainly to fight. I mean, sure, Thunder God's Wrath and Finger, they definitely help in these engagements to try and burst down these key targets, but it's not exactly like it's necessary. Instead, they will move right into the Roshan pit. With this Corrosive Haze plus the Desolator about to be delivered onto Nico Baby. Massive amount of minus armor onto this Roshan. Will drop pretty quickly. And no one on the side of VP realizes this is going on. So they will manage to get this one for free. So I think the Epileptic Kid's also just finished up his hand to Midas. Oh, no, he swapped that out as well. So he decided to fill up his power treads. Is this Mythril Hammer going to turn into a BKB? Which all makes sense. Good way to avoid all the stun knockdowns coming out from the side of Alliance, plus the magical damage from the Zeus. So definitely be a worthwhile item. It looks like VP and Alliance are so close to each other right now, but because it's nighttime, just neither team actually realizes that the other one's only inches away. Well, actually, never mind. VP realized that Alliance was there because of that ward, but Alliance had no idea. Ooh, it looks like they're actually going to find the grab onto Ilias instead in the mid lane. That's just a quick, easy, free kill. DM at least able to get the Blink Dagger away himself to safety. We see quite a big gold difference though so far between Epileptic Kid and Nico Baby. About 2,000 gold. And seems how neither one actually has any sort of like farming items that really increase it. They've both got a Mask of Madness. And they've both got a sort of blink. Obviously Epileptic Kid is a little bit more efficient when it comes to farming. Seems like you can just target Fog of War to move around. Big actual stack here on the side of Alliance. I think maybe VP spied it out. But Alliance are making quite a few rotations coming up towards this top lane to try and defend this stack, and it will actually force VP away. So they keep that available for Nico Baby to eventually farm. They're going to try and keep the wrap around. Nico Baby ends up jumping forward, gets a solo kill there on to save, crits him down, and now he's forced to charge it forwards. Wants to try and get a grab onto GPK, but Nico Baby is layering up himself, constantly jumping forwards. Even the finger coming out there from Hanska nearly brings GPK down, but not quite. Ilias ends up dropping as well, so it's only 3 members on the side of VP. Jump forward from S4, gets another double crush, stunning everyone in place. They're trying to burst him down. GPK is getting pretty low. The dunk comes out there though from DM, brings out FNG, but still not going to be enough to keep GPK alive, and he ends up dropping. Nico Baby nearly falling himself, but just able to keep that Aegis intact. Meanwhile, DM did actually fall from Limp in the background as well. So it ends up being a 4-for-1 trade. Alliance only losing their position 5 whilst taking away 4 nice kills on the side of VP. Only Epileptic Kid to actually survive that entire engagement. And that's purely the fact that he was just on the opposite side of the map. He's like, guys, I've still not got my BKB. I'm not fighting. I will wait for this BKB and then I'll actually start getting involved. And sure enough, he will have that after this next creep camp. And that could be the potential for VP. Ooh, that could be the potential for VP to make a move and try and find a pick-off. But I mean, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. Seems how there is still that Aegis in the hands of Nico Baby. Quite a while as well. Still about 1 minute 40 seconds until that runs out. Even still, even Limp's 2k over the top of Epileptic Kid at the moment. Thunder God's Wrath scouts out a few members of the VP. Nico Baby was leading the charge, couldn't quite get the grab onto it. And DM now is actually going to try and re-engage there with the Blade Mail popped. Unfortunately, doesn't get lucky, but then the crits come up. Nico Baby just destroys Ilias in the background. He gets deleted, and VP just sees score in the immediate retreat. Realising they cannot really engage in that sort of situation, especially with their one of their supports down. it's just such a game of like cat and mouse at the moment. Every single time Alliance finds a few members of VP, VP just has to retreat. That is not really in any sort of situation to take any fights if they're not the ones engaging. I think maybe if DM got lucky and Nika maybe crit a couple of times on his blade mail, then they could have tried to make some sort of play happen there, but unfortunately it was just two very slow auto attacks that came out. Not enough. And it looks like S4 up to this top lane wants to try and make some sort of grab. Redicate though coming out from save. We'll bring him out there. Bless me. So he will save the life of GPK, but it will inevitably cost his life, and Save will end up falling for this. Another free kill there for Nico Baby. Currently 8-0-4. And even the Aegis now reclaimed. So there is going to be that small window now for VP if they want to try and make a move with this BKB Chronosphere ready to roll. I mean, GPK's been suffering so much lately. Leshrak's a hero which loves to snowball and really, like, as soon as they get a little bit of a lead, keep pressing that lead into a massive advantage. But Alliance has been doing a good job shutting him down. He's 1-4 at the moment. And working towards that BKB. They've gone for a smoke up. They're going to try and wrap around through their jungle into the river. They do see... Nika Baby jumps forward, gets a few quick kill grabs there onto Save, brings him down. And DM now jumping forward, trying to get the re-engage. A nice crit there. Onto that, the Chronosphere comes out, knocking him down in place with the GA Smith getting a lot of this damage. But the static form that came out wasn't enough to actually bring down Nika Baby. So they finally one key grab. But S4's is jumping into the background. Epileptic is trying to do as much work as he possibly can. DM re-engage, gets the grab onto FNG. Limp. GPK gets so low, and with the Earth Spike, holds him down in place. He ends up dropping. DM just keeps jumping in and out with these dunks, getting more and more kills. Nevertheless, is trying to hunt down for more, trying to get grab onto S4, but can't quite get lucky with the bashes. They're going to swap their attention onto Limp instead. With the cool connection there from DM, can hold him in place, but jump forward with an S4, locking him down with this crush, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive, and Limp still ends up falling. It looks like S4 is going to pay with its life, trying to save his body, and that's 5 deaths on the side of Alliance. VP only losing GPK. Well, Save as well, because he just respawned. So actually a 5-for-2 favouring VP. Finally, they get a favourable engagement. Something to give them a little bit of morale boost. And a little bit of a gold boost as well. I mean, maybe it was just that very aggressive jump there from Nika Baby. Sure, he got the quick delete there onto Save. Brought him down super quick, but I left him open for DM to just get the easy cool connection. Plus, DM got pretty lucky. I think it was actually 2 crits that went onto the blade mail as well, which really helped bring Nika Baby down. I think if it wasn't for that, I think probably the PA would have survived. Especially seems like Epileptic still doesn't have this MKB online. He will have it online pretty soon though, seeing as how that fight definitely helped boost his net worth quite a bit. He's only about 1,500 gold away. So you should have that online ready for the next engagement that will be coming out. Probably just in time as well for when the Chronosphere is up and available. Relocate coming out there from Save. Takes GPK with him. Trying to find S4, but S4's hiding in the trees. Maybe they just wanted to force out the creep wave then. The other 4 members of Alliance, they're all grouped up in the mid. Abyssal Blade actually now finished from Nika Baby. He's going to be able to control people up. Hex comes out there from Hansku, trying to lead the fight up onto GPK. Just barely able to survive. Meanwhile, Nika Baby just clears up the 2 supports to the side of VP. GPK finally falls, and now it's this DM left all alone. Nothing he could do to survive this. Another crit to the face, and Nika Baby cuts him in half. So just as it was looking up for the side of VP, Alliance quickly slap him back down, put him back into their place. I'm not going to let them just try and run away with this game. Put themselves back into the driver's seat. There is the BKB Chrono available to use up for Epileptic Kid right now. He's still 1,000 gold though, away from finishing up the MKB. But it might not be something they have the luxury of waiting for. Especially the fact the Roche is now up. I think VP realizes this is going on though. A couple of TPs coming out. They're going to try and stop this happening. They need to hurry up though. This drops so quickly with the minus arm that's coming out. Epileptic jumps forward. He managed to get the Chronosphere connection soon. He's going to finish off the Roshan as well before the Chronosphere ends. And he will manage to get the... Oh, there's not picked up the Aegis yet. It's still on the floor. Actually, the IO ends up grabbing it. So he's going to get that forward. Lovely stun comes out there onto 4 heroes on the side of VP. Elisa got the lead from Nika Baby in the back line. He's going to now focus on the GPK. And he gets brought down pretty low himself. And he will fall. Now DM. Another crit to the face from Nika Baby. Finishes him off with that final little tap. The IO respawns after the Aegis, but it's just an IO all alone. And he falls. And Epileptic just has to run away. The Chronosphere, sure, it stops the Aegis from falling into the hands of Alliance, but you spent all that time just to get the Roshan kill that you were doing 0 damage to the actual cause of the side of Alliance, and they just immediately turned that fight around as soon as the Chrono finished. Oh, Hanskin, he blinked into the base. And with the glimpse, can hold him in place here. Oh, tries to go for the Nika Baby. Wants to try and get the engagement. This is going to cost him his life. A quick earth spike in the finger and a hit from Nika Baby brings him down. The next level play indeed. Just a lion baiting himself into the base of VP. And that's Nika Baby. That's Epileptic gone for a minute. No buyback as well. The situation is looking really dire now from the side of VP. Jump forward again from Nika Baby with the Nimbus help. DM. Ooh, a little... Not enough going to survive though. S4 jump forwards to finish him off. And now it's just going to be a 3-lane Arax in the mid lane. The one saving grace though for VP is the fact their tier 2 bot and top are still standing. So they're not going to lose 2 sets for this. GPK and saved, trying to force down the 2 on top. Hands catch route around it. The Earth Spike connects onto 2. It's a beautiful ravage. And then S4 even jumps forward, gets this double crush. Going to try and control them both up. It's not going to be enough. S4 trying to focus his attention onto save, but it's not going to be in time. Relocate. It's going to save GPK's life, obviously, but hey, save. He will fall for this. No tether target. Free kill there for S4. So Alliance is going to start forcing in the 2 side lanes. S4 working his way along the top. I just someone to come grab this wave. He needs to push it in somehow, boys. So who actually got the cheese from that Roshan? Or did it just immediately get used in that fight? I don't see it on anyone. Oh, no, it's actually in the hands of Nika Baby. Oh, even with a Paladin sword pickup. Very nice. Gotta pick it up. So Alliance has positioned themselves around this tier 2 tower. Maybe we want to try and force it down with this next creep wave and then work their way onto that bottom tier 3. You've actually gone for a smoke up with this top. It's quite a ways away though from the side of Alliance. We'll see if maybe they're able to catch Alliance unawares with their pants down. Maybe try and net a few quick kills here. See if they're able to find. Looks like they're running to Limp first. It's definitely going to be a good way to halt the DPS that's coming out from the side of Alliance. But obviously there's still going to be Nika Baby left alive. Yeah, jump forward. He does get the cool connection there onto Limp. Going to bring him down pretty quickly. The jump forward though. Epileptic Kids gets deleted from Nika Baby and the finger that come up from Hanskin. He gets dropped. Limp will finally fall, but DM's going to drop as well. VP just in full disarray. Not going to be able to find anything else. Saves end up dropping. A dagger crit comes out from GPK, finishes him off. Limp even buys back. And with his bots, this immediately comes back into this fight. Finds the finishing kill there onto Elias. Full team wipe. And now VP call GG. Complete flop around from the previous game. Alliance now showing them that, you know, that first game, it was just a fluke. they're still those big scary boys that people would expect them to be. Take away that game 2 pretty convincingly. I mean, it seemed like VP had a few more opportunities to try and bring themselves back into the game than Alliance did in the first match. But even still, just Nika Baby just did way too much damage when paired up with this Slardar that everyone just got deleted so quickly. And the line pickup actually worked very well. Just the lockdown that he managed to bring to the table to keep the Faceless Void just stunned in place, not letting him get any sort of time walks off. It really screwed him over. And yeah, just found those easy kills pretty much every time. Despite the fact that Epileptic Kid only died twice, he just couldn't really have much impact in these fights. They got the grab onto Limp at the end, sure, but as I was saying, just Nika Baby was left all alone. And he just did way too much damage with those crits. Way too much. So, nice play in there by Alliance, taking that second game and bringing this back into a even split in this series so far, pushing on to a game 3. We'll see if they're able to take the third game and keep themselves in the Division 1 of the Epic League, or if maybe VP are going to bounce back and take game 3 themselves. Well, we'll have to wait and see. There's only one way to find out, and that's watching game 3, which will be coming up soon. Thanks for watching that video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and the content I was able to provide. I am just starting out, so if you did like it and you want to support me in the future, then please think about following and subscribing to me on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube. I post on Twitter what events I plan on covering in the future and when I'm actually able to do some casts. I don't have the most free time in the world, unfortunately, so I can't provide constant content, but I can guarantee you every single time that I do cast, I'm giving it my all because I have a lot of passion for it and hopefully that does come off. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you stick around for the next video. So hopefully I see you guys there. Cheers.